once again. We had some technical difficulties, so I'm hoping, I'm praying that the people who were on our last show a couple of minutes ago rejoin me as I'm back live again. I think sometimes in the building which we broadcast the show has some Wi-Fi issues. I think a lot of people on their Wi-Fi at the same time. That sometimes causes some issues in terms of filming the show. So again, my apologies. Hopefully everybody returns. And what I'll do is I'll just recap what we were just talking about. And by the way, you are watching Transition Tuesdays with your host Russ Williams here. So just to recap, as Dave Snedeker is joining us, what's going on, Dave? Happy New Year to you, sir. We got to have you back on the show as well, Dave. We'll have you on as a political pundit, talk about some things, that's coming up here soon. So we'll have you on the show coming up shortly, Dave. So that's an invite to you. So again, when you last left me, I'll just recap what we talked about, guys. Again, as you're watching, we were watching Transition Tuesdays with your host, Russ Williams here. So we were talking about, terms of the transition, we were talking about the U.S.-Iran crisis. And, we were just talking about, let's say, for example, if you just joined us and if you're not sure what's going on, as Yoshena is watching us here on Transition Tuesdays. Happy New Year to you. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Yep, we'll have you, Dave. Don't worry about that. I'll reach out to you, sir. So, again, we were talking about the latest in the United States-Iran crisis. As Janine is joining me, my Jasper sister. Welcome, Janine. Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Happy New Year to you. And so we were just talking about that. So I just want to recap. If you left us the last time, again, the show was kind of preempted because there's some Wi-Fi issues going on. But I can recap easily. Now, last week we talked about how Number 45 called for the assassination of Iran's top military commander, Soleimani. At this time, the country, Iran, has vowed retaliation for the death of this commander. And at Soleimani's funeral, huge crowds gathered. Dozens of people died in a stampede, causing his burial to be delayed. So Number 45, he claims Soleimani was planning a huge or a big attack on the United States, but didn't provide details on that. He's been saying on record saying it's been a big attack. He planned a big attack. So in actuality, we got to him before he got to us. That was in the president's, I guess, his mindset. So the question I had and the question I proposed to everybody was, why did Number 45 decide to take out Soleimani now? Why did he decide to do this now? Okay, and we had discussion. I remember my man Cliff was on here. And Cliff, come back if you can, man. I'd love to have you back on, man. But, Cliff mentioned, could it be personal reasons? I mentioned, could it be personal reasons? And Cliff said, yeah, definitely personal reasons. Reason why that was done. And I concur with Cliff on that. I think it's personal reasons, too, because let's face it, President Bush had his eyes on Soleimani, but he didn't pull the trigger. President Obama had his eyes, he had a scope on him. He didn't pull the trigger because they knew about the retributions of what was about to take place if they did decide to assassinate this commander-in-chief. We have Alexis rejoining us. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you for rejoining me. Appreciate it. And we also got Keisha joining us. What's going on, Keisha? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you both. So, again, we believe, personal reasons, absolutely. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to hear this phrase called wag the dog. Okay? You're going to hear this a lot if you haven't heard it already. And wag the dog, the definition is to purposely divert attention from what would otherwise be a greater of importance. As Kimberly is joining us, welcome, Kimberly. Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Happy New Year to you. So again, wagging the dog, that's going to be important here. Wagging the dog. And like I mentioned earlier, Number 45, he's been on record saying he is the chosen one, right? He's the chosen one. So, could he be a prophet? Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because in 2011, he tweeted that then President Barack Obama would start a war with Iran to get reelected. Now, he didn't stop there. He didn't stop there. And he also said, don't let Obama play the Iran card in order to start a war, in order to get reelected. Be careful, Republicans. Okay? He has said that. He's been on record saying that. Be careful, Republicans. So he also mentioned Obama's plotting an Iraq attack for his political boost. He's quoted as saying, "Isn't that pathetic?" Okay, he's quoted as saying that. Isn't that pathetic? So I asked number 45, I asked you, your actions that you now did, are those actions pathetic? Are those pathetic? Would you ask yourself the same questions? Because it is you who has now, potentially started a war with Iraq to get reelected. And, you're just saying how you saying how Obama was going to play the Iran card in order to start a war to get reelected. You have done this. And does it make our country safer? I mean, that question, we're gonna have to find that out and see, because we're gonna have to wait and see on that. Does that make us safer by this general being taken out? Does that make our country safer? No answers have been coming to us, as American citizens. We don't know that. So, only time will tell on that. Only time will tell on that. So, and again, I apologize. I think I might be a little delay in the broadcast here. It might be a Wi-Fi issue. And again, I apologize. It may seem like my voice might not be catching up to my action. That's what it looks like here. But we'll keep the show moving and grooving, and hopefully this will improve. But so that was the question. That's the recap that we talked about briefly about these actions here in terms of this United States-Iran crisis. So we talked about that. All right. So while you guys are pondering that, let's do this. I want to transition into our transition to 2020. So again, we've made it here. We transitioned to 2020. We made it on the other side. Thank God. Always give thanks. Be thankful for that. We've made it. We arrived. We are here. We have transitioned to 2020. So for me, I just want to give you guys, ladies and gentlemen out there, Transition Army, I want to give you 5 game plan steps that everybody should take when making the transition to 2020. Okay? These are 5 GPSs I want to give to you all. Okay? The first GPS is going to be develop a transition game plan. Okay? Develop a transition game plan. A point of attack for 2020. It reminds me of the joke that Chris Rock said on his Netflix special Tambourine. He talked about how when President Obama was transitioning to civilian life, and he had a conversation with Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama asked him the question. He says, Barack, what's your transition game plan? What's your transition game plan? So we have to develop a transition game plan. We're no different from the president who's making that transition. We are making a transition to 2020, so we have to develop a transition game plan. So that's the first GPS. Second GPS number 2, we have to embrace the new motto, out with the old, in with the new. Okay, and what I mean by that is anything old is in your past, is in your rearview mirror. Okay, it's done, it's in the past. Okay, while everything new is in your present, is in your now. Okay, and you got to think of it like this. Consider everything new that you have in 2020 is a gift. Okay, it's in the now. It's a present. It's in the now. It's a gift. Consider it a gift. And that could be from like relationships, new relationships, romantically or business or what have you. All these things. You can look at it as that, as new there. Maybe new jobs, maybe new promotions. Maybe you're going to be moving to a new city. Stuff like that. These new things are considered gifts to you. So keep that in mind. GPS number 3, okay? Think new year, new you. Think new year, new you. Now, keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. The transition to 2020 will give you the opportunity to be the best you can be. To be the best you can be. Now, I want to share with you guys a quote that I heard from Pastor Joel Osteen, and he really summed it up in terms of you. Okay, and he says, nobody can beat you in being you. Okay, everybody else is taken, so you can only be you because everybody else is taken. Okay, keep that in mind. So GPS number 4 when you transition into 2020, because we're here now. It's time to make that transition. Is to develop 2020 vision. Develop 2020 vision. And when you're developing 2020 vision, this allows you to have laser focus. Okay? 2020 is perfect vision. Okay? And you have laser focus, especially when you're achieving your goals in 2020. Now, goals are different from resolutions. New Year's resolutions, that people have. The goals are different. So we really want to focus on the goals, have laser focus on your goals. And for me, I recommend that you set goals, long-term and short-term goals, which is so important to do that. Set those long-term and short-term goals. I recommend writing goals down and then putting a time frame or a timeline to your goals. Like, for example, let's say if by February 1st, I want to lose 5 pounds, or February 3rd or February 25th or whatever, or January 25th, I want to meet these goals at work. Write these down. Now you can develop that 2020 vision to those goals. So that's so important there. And then the 5th GPS when you're transitioning to 2020, because we're here now, it's time to transition, as my man Buthero is watching us from Spain. Hey, Jasper, brother. Happy New Year to you, my man. So the 5th GPS when transitioning to 2020 is to execute on your transition game plan. Execute, okay? Now, like any coach, coaches give you the game plan, but it's the players who execute that game plan. Coaches coach, players play. You're a player. You're a participant in this whole thing. So you have the game plan. And now you have the GPSs. Okay? So now it's going to be up to you to carry out your transition game plan to the finish line. You got to run through that winner's tape, run through the race, and finish it. And when you do that, you're going to execute your transition game plan. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to recap those 5 GPSs when transitioning to 2020. Number 1, develop a transition game plan. Number 2, embrace your new motto. Out with the old, in with the new. Think of new as a gift. Anything new in this year going forward is a gift to you. Okay, make use of that gift. 3rd GPS, think new year, new me. Okay, new you, I should say, new you. Think new year, new you. Number 4, develop 2020 vision. Okay, you're going to have that laser-like focus on what you're doing and attach some goals to that so that way you can achieve those goals. And the 5th GPS is execute your transition game plan. Okay, you're participating in it. You can execute it. All right, and you're going to run through that winner's tape to do that because now you have the GPS to do so. Okay. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. So, who got anybody else watching us? Okay, no. Okay, so let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. As we normally do around this time, and you notice my mom, Miss May, she's not here right now. She's resting comfortably. So, in the theme of my mom, I want to do her segment, Miss May, who you're rolling with, okay? Who you're rolling with. And what I'm going to do is this, okay? I'm going to play her theme music first of all, okay? Playing her theme music. And again, this is the love mug. I prepared questions for my mom. And I'm going to pull out each one. And I'm going to see which one, what would she say on this? How would she answer these questions that I prepared for her? Okay? So let me do this. Let me pull one for Miss May. Okay. First one is I had for Miss May, great combinations. And I want you to play along with me as well if you can out there. So I asked Miss May, great combinations. Which one would you choose? Would you choose peanut butter and jelly or ham and eggs? So I had to think about this. So again, I pulled that from my mom. She's not here to answer it, but if I know my mom like I do know my mom, Miss May, she most likely would choose ham and eggs because my mom isn't a big peanut butter and jelly fan. I think out of the ham and eggs, she would like that. She would enjoy that more than peanut butter and jelly. So I'm gonna go with ham and eggs. But what's your combination? What do you think? Are you liking peanut butter and jelly as a combination, or better combination, or ham and eggs? I think Miss May would choose ham and eggs personally. Okay, so let me choose a second one for Miss May. All right. Next. Okay, here's a question I had for my mom, Miss May. Which one would she prefer? And I want everybody out there to play along with me out there too in the audience. Would Miss May prefer a tummy tuck or a butt lift? All right. So I'm kind of treading on water a little bit because my mom, I can just see my mom just smiling about the question, probably asking me like, what the heck are you asking me this question for, Russ? But if I know my mom like I know my mom, which one would she prefer in this case? I think she would prefer neither one because I know my mom. My mom, she doesn't like scalpels or needles or any of that good stuff or any injections. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, they're injecting like concrete into these things, you know, into people, you know, and these butt lifts and all this stuff and tummy tucks. As Alexis says, she would choose peanut butter and jelly. I got you there, Alexis. So yeah, so in this case, between tummy tuck and a butt lift, Miss May, if I had to go on a limb for Miss May, I think she would choose neither one of those. But again, if I held her feet to the fire and say, Miss May, Ma, you gotta choose one, tummy tuck or butt lift, I think she would go with the butt lift. That's just me. That's what I'm thinking. All right? So that's that. But what do you guys out there think? And thank you for Alexis for playing along with me. I appreciate that. Next. Last one. I asked my mom, now which one would you prefer? And there's 3 different choices here. Okay? Now my mom's, you got to understand, my mom's a big time sports junkie. She loves sports of all types. She loves all different sports. So I asked her the question, which would you prefer? Would you prefer Major League playoffs, baseball, MLB, Major League playoffs? Would you prefer NFL playoffs? Or would you prefer NBA playoffs? Now, again, knowing like my mom, like I do, like I know Miss May, I think that'd be a tough one for Miss May. But I think she would overall choose NBA playoffs. My mom's a fan of all those sports, but I think basketball is really her deal, which she really loves and enjoys. So I think she would choose NBA playoffs from Major League playoffs or NFL playoffs. So that's what I think Miss May would choose in this particular situation. I definitely think that. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. But again, thank you for playing along here on Transition Tuesday with Miss May, who you're rolling with. I tried to represent my mom in this case. Hopefully I did a good job. And again, we're going to have my mom on. She's going to be, she's going to have the strength because she wants to come on when she's really strong and healthy enough to come back on the show. So we're going to have her on next week. And then that way we can ask her these questions in live. And then that way we can get her response instead of my response, because the segment is Miss May, who you're rolling with, and not Russ, who you're rolling with. Okay? So, but again, I'm just subbing in for my mom this particular week. So, so ladies and gentlemen, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, or think during this broadcast, my good friends out there, you have accomplished something major. So celebrate your victory. As Alexis says, I think she would choose the NBA. Yes, I agree with you, Alexis. I think she would choose the NBA. Maybe next week we can ask her that in person. But yeah, I'm with you. I think she would choose the NBA. And it's funny, too, because when I played basketball, when I played college basketball, my mom wasn't a huge fan of I mean, she was a fan, but she wasn't a huge fan. But, like, after I finished playing and everything, she became a huge fan of basketball, which is just weird. You know what I mean? It's pretty ironic. But, yeah, but I'm with you, Alexis. I think she would choose the NBA. than those other two sports. But so yeah. But again, yeah. So I just want to state this again, ladies and gentlemen. If we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, my good friends out there, you have accomplished something major. Celebrate your victory. I think the victory we all celebrate, we all have in common is we're here in 2020. I think we need to celebrate that. Celebrate your victories. Small or big, take the time to celebrate your victories. Take the time to celebrate your victories. Do that. So important. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do, and I want to take the time to play my music. And also, I want to take the time to thank everybody out there for hanging with us with these technical difficulties. We still might be experiencing these technical difficulties, but we still make the show moving and grooving. I appreciate you for joining us here on Transition Tuesdays today. Love each and every one of you for tuning in and dealing with this. There's sometimes the technical difficulties or sometimes pain, but hey, we get through it. We keep moving, we keep grooving. So I thank you for that. And a couple of things before I head on out. I got a couple of things coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Like, for example, this week, Saturday, I'm going to be playing in my alumni basketball game, my high school, Mount Senior McClancy High School. I'm looking forward to seeing some old classmates and teammates there. I can't wait to do that at McClancy, Mount Senior McClancy. That's Saturday. And also Sunday, I'm going to be playing in an alumni basketball game at my alma mater, Manhattan College. So I look forward to seeing some people I haven't seen in a while, having a lot of fun. And again, just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the only time I play basketball now is during these alumni games. So I haven't touched the basketball. I'm not expecting much. I'm not going to do much at all. I'll probably make a basket and then sit my butt down where I should be and watching all the other people perform. But I'm looking forward to that. And we'll give you guys a nice progress report on that next week when we talk next Tuesday. As we have Orlando joining us. Welcome, Orlando. Happy New Year to you, and thank you for joining us here on Transition Tuesdays as we're about to transition out of here. So again, thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging in there for these technical difficulties. We'll do better next week. You can count on that. And as we say in parting, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, happy transitioning, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.